Hey everyone, welcome back to Pearl Media. Today we're reacting to a Kevin Samuels video with some honest, unfiltered thoughts. Let's get right into it.
Value is lower than theirs. Hello.
Hi.
How are you?
I'm good, thank you. I'm not sure. There's a bunch of people
Three
here.
people. Okay, three people. Hey, okay, first one. What's your first name?
I'm Emily.
Emil.
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 Ja.
Emil. And then man with the bonnet.
Ja.
Ja.
Yes.
How old are you? Starting the first one. I'm gonna call you 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. Okay. Number one. How old are you?
35.
You're number two, but I'll call you one. Up top. How old are you?
I'm 32.
32. And how old are you?
30.
Huh?
30. 30.
30. Okay, number one. What do you think about sharing a man?
I actually don't see anything wrong with it,
Okay.
depending on the situation. It's really no big deal. It's more of an emotional thing that women can't get over. I feel like if a person is upfront with you and honest, it should actually work better as a community. And it's just even the men and women marrying and that not happening in the Black community is already a fail. So why not put three people together and actually come up with something constructive if you're doing it in an appropriate way? And
Let me make sure everybody. So, ma'am, up top, number two. What do you think on the subject?
I sort of agree with her, but I actually came on to kind of ask what you're thinking when you suggest a lifestyle like this. Like, what sort of things are you thinking? Are you thinking like one of us is a wife and this person has girlfriends, or like, are we all girlfriends? Are we doing like a polyamorous like family thing? Like, what is your suggestion?
Well, okay. Well, what we call it may be whatever, but it does become a poly situation, and it comes down to simply this: numbers. There are not enough men. But, ma'am, at the bottom, John. I'm gonna get back to you and answer your question, John. But I want to get your point of view. What do you think?
I disagree. I wouldn't share a man, but I do understand her views.
Okay. Do any of you have children?
I do.
yes,
You have two children, John?
I do.
Two
How
also.
many fathers?
2.
Okay. And you, ma'am, up top, you have two kids or one?
2 kids, 1 father.
Okay, ma'am. And number one, you have one kid?
one.
One kid. Okay. All you are coming to the marketplace that have been shared. And John, I'm going to go to you. How can you say you wouldn't want to share a man when he has to share you with your two children and the man you created? That's one person being shared with 4 people.
What do you consist of sharing? Am I sharing my physical body? Am I sharing my love? Am I sharing my nurturing, my care for my baby fathers? I have a husband as well. So what am I sharing?
Okay. Well, if you already have a husband, why are we, that doesn't need to be here. Because I don't want to disrupt what you got
Why? I
going on.
tamper goods, though.
Excuse me,
One of
man.
my baby fathers,
Stop,
my
stop,
first
stop.
baby father isn't my husband.
Stop. You're a married woman?
So what, Kev? That makes me...
Look.
I'm eligible for your conversation.
All right. So I'm going to go on to the women I'm going to talk to. I don't know why y'all think y'all can just come over here and do what you want to. So I want you to understand that you said up front, ma'am, you said how would we be sharing that? What is, as a woman with 2 kids, were you married before?
No.
Okay.
No,
So
baby father left.
why does the nature of the arrangement matter now? Fair question.
Because honestly, when I think about it, I think that I kind of will be sharing a man for the rest of my life, because I'll be sharing my baby father with whoever he decides to be with. So I don't necessarily have to have sex with him anymore to be sharing him automatically now.
Well,
He's part of my family that I'm connected to.
right. But
I'm
what
gonna have to go though.
I'm asking is, you already have a child, right? So, and you didn't require marriage before, so would you require marriage now? All right, it bounced. The baby started crying.
Yeah.
The woman who, I'm not going to ask, you're already married. So you wouldn't mind sharing.
No.
Okay.
If it came
Why
down,
do
if it came
it
down
seem like you
to,
have such a more laid back attitude and seem like most women have a knee jerk reaction to it? It's like when they know the math is not on the side.
because I've been through all walks of life. I've been through, you know, the one having the control, the one not having the control, the one. So it's like, you know, once you kind of peep, like, okay, I could be the best woman I could be, and a person's still going to do what they're going to do.
Mm-hmm.
It's just not something you should live in fear about. Like, it's more important things in life, you know?
You mentioned
So,
something that I want to touch on, fear. Uh, I think a lot of women make decisions in
scared,
relationships based on fear.
scared men don't live.
You don't trust men. You're always worried about somebody hustling, overdoing, and you bring all that. And what I'm trying to find is women who actually come into relationships in good faith understand that you can't control them. You can only control so much. So would it be better? I haven't heard a compelling argument to why women don't want to share. And especially, I'm going to say this too, especially if you already have kids. You've shared yourself. Now,
It's more so of a learned behavior.
that's what a lot of men think. Go ahead.
It's more so of a learned behavior, I feel like, and it's like a cliche feeling like you've heard someone else say it and you just pick up on it and say, oh no, that's just, but it's like, I think about like 2019, I just hit a point where I'm just like, it's really not that big of a deal as long as a person is honest, as long as a person has an agreement and they stick to that agreement. If you want to switch them up, if you don't like that one, we can switch them up and get another one. But as long as it's some type of understanding, everyone's clean, everyone's tested, you know, that person doesn't have extra people on the side. I don't understand what the big problem is if it really came down to it. Of course, everybody wants one person, but I don't understand women is just like, oh no, oh no. I mean, sometimes you do meet people where you may not get 100% of everything you may like and want in that person, but it's enough for you to be like, you know what, all right. And then if it's somebody else that makes up in other ways that they may be lacking, it's not a competition.
I think the main
Y'all
thing
both
is
got
about having a
issues.
conversation up front.
I think it's
Here's the
about
thing.
security.
Excuse me?
Security. Whereas the guys nowadays can't make a woman feel
Ma'am, you're
secure
married.
with another one.
You're married. You don't. You're not dating. It
Why
doesn't
you
matter.
not married? Why are you on here
That's
hosting
what I'm trying to
shows
tell
with all
you.
these damn women,
I try to be
but I
reasonable. This
can't
is what's
talk?
wrong with somebody's wife on here with a bonnet. Got an attitude. That woman ain't nobody better married. Hello, you were trying to get on here the other day. How are you doing?
Hi, how you doing, Kevin?
See, I want my critics and detractors to understand that you get upset with the way you feel like I respond, but you never talk about how rude women and rude people come on here acting. So how old are you, ma'am? You need to hold your phone
Okay,
steady.
you see me? I'm sorry, is this better?
Yeah, you need to keep your phone steady. It's jumping all over the place. How old are you?
I'm 31.
All right, we're talking about sharing tonight. Do you have any kids?
I have one son, yes.
Okay, what do you think about the concept, especially of a woman over 35, over 40 having to share a man?
I mean, it's happening anyway, so it's better to understand it and know rather to be hurt behind it and, you know, don't take the time to really understand. I used to be in a poly relationship, so
Okay.
when I was 23, I dated a 35-year-old man at the time, and his girlfriend was 33.
Okay.
We lived together. We did all that.
Oh yeah, you single. You got the single woman beat going on back there. Beep. That's
Who, me?
Yeah, that's a
I
dead
gotta
ass
check.
sale.
Listen, buddy, I
Ain't
need
no
to
man
change
gonna live with
that.
that shit.
I'm
We would rather
definitely.
I hate it.
Yes, I need to change my smoke detector, Kevin. I do.
No, you need a man.
Huh?
You need a man.
I do.
Men come with smoke. We come with batteries in hand to change them fucking smoke detectors.
I bet. I'm
First time
looking
we at your
I'm
house,
looking.
you're like, oh, beep. Oh, that shit won't. No, hold on. I got to go to the store real
No,
quick.
I'm looking though. I'm trying to, I'm trying to get there, but slowly but surely.
Okay, let
But
me bring somebody up because you said you were involved in a poly relationship.
I was.
I'm going to say something, and I want you ladies to understand the spirit in which I'm saying. Anybody we're sharing you with, men got a problem with that. So you got a kid, you're already in a poly relationship from a man's standpoint because your time, your career, anything we're sharing you with. Hey, how are you doing, man?
I'm great. How are you?
I'm good. How old are you?
I'm 28.
28. And was that your smoke detector too? Was that still?
No,
That's
no,
mine. I need
That's you.
that's
All
not
right.
yours.
All right. So what do you think about the concept of sharing a man, especially
You
if you're over
know,
35?
I feel like once I'm 35 and if I'm still single, I would have to be okay with it. You
Well,
know, like I'm
what
20
do you think about it now?
right now. I don't want to have to share a man. I have shared a man before, but like I would rather not. You know,
Okay, so what I put in the post that says, ladies, there are more account executives, that means the bottom level, than directors and vice presidents. Any organization, account executive is entry level. The higher up you go, there are less jobs. So if you want something higher up, there's less. If you're over 35 and want to keep your lifestyle, it's time to share a man publicly and like it. But if you're 25 to 37, 27, well, I say 27 to 35, that's the danger zone. It's best to get real about your expectations, get real clear about your sexual marketplace value and outcome. So you're 28.
yeah.
How serious have you gotten about what you want to have your life look like by the time you're 35?
I, honestly, not that serious. I'm trying to get to that point where I am serious and really figuring out like what I want my life to look like. I
Well, here's what
don't.
it's going to look like. At 35, you're going to be sharing them in.
Okay.
That's what it looks like. Listen, nobody told you. I'm telling you right now. Because at 28 years old, you're like, I don't know. Okay, cool. At 35,
And this 7 years go
one of
fast.
three. If you're lucky, one of two. If I could tell y'all some of the women I talked to today, women that y'all all know, every last one of y'all would say these are bona fide bad chicks. Professional, educated, beautiful, black. Every last one of them was like, I understand. Now, if women up here, because I'm going to tell you, this is where I heard this from. So at 28, you have a chance to change the outcomes.
I
But you
do.
got to do something about it.
What do I do? I'm going out trying to date.
Well, that's a different show. That's a different show. But the one thing you don't do is you don't act so entitled. Like what are you doing right? What are you doing other than watching Instagram and YouTube?
I go out. I go out. I've been trying to put myself in positions to where I am in the
Do you
spots
have a
where
college degree?
I do. I have a business management degree, and I'm currently in Houston. I have a pretty
You
decent job.
can't. Okay. Well, the thing is, I asked because it's therapy. You got to change the software before you change anything else.
Yeah.
And the
I'm.
thing is, far too many women are walking the software. You can put yourself in a place, but there you are.
Yeah.
So, oh my goodness, that smoke detector. I want everybody to
Let me.
I want everybody to send 25 cents on Cash App to old
Don't
girl.
do me like
I
that.
got
No, I'm just messing
not
with you.
the
I'm just
cat.
messing with you.
Let
I'm gonna
me.
bring somebody back in
Let me
though.
mute it though. I don't want you to.
Well, I'm gonna have to bring somebody else in. I got to keep the panel circulating. So I
Okay. See
appreciate.
you later.
Bye bye. Thank you, Miss. I'm gonna bring somebody else in too to kind of keep it circulating. Appreciate you being at least trying to have the conversation. I know it's, ladies. I'm not saying this is a perfect solution. That's what I need everybody. I'm not saying it's a perfect solution, but I'm saying, especially in Black America, if you're over 40 and a woman, we can't go back in time. And what's the other alternative? Because I know a lot of people don't say they don't like this or they don't like that, but what I never hear is what they do offer. So appreciate it. I'll bring some other folks in. So at 28, you say you're just kind of.
Shit. I'm trying to figure it out. Like, I don't. I should have been figured it out. Yeah, for sure. And like you said, therapy. I've been thinking about that. I do think that I would benefit from that. both personally and for my future partner, if I do ever find him or if he finds me. But I mean,
In other words, I'm not doing nothing. See, and this is what men hear. This is what men hear.
okay.
Wah, 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 wah. I'm doing not a mother flipping thing. And that's fine.
No.
You're 40, when you're 40, you'll be second or third in the rotation.
Okay.
That's okay. But see, what happens is I need you to understand today that if that becomes a likely outcome, 35 plus, that's what you prepared for. Because now you got your time and you're not doing anything with it. It's like the women I'm talking to, 40 plus, they prioritize other things while they were in their prime. Okay, ma'am, how are you doing down at the bottom?
I'm good, Kevin. How are you?
Good. How old are you?
I'm 27.
27. Ma'am, the lady just came in. How old are you?
I'm 38.
38. So you're 28, 27, 38. So 27-year-old. What do you think about the concept of sharing a man? Be honest.
I do not agree to that at all.
Okay. 38. What do you think about it?
Yeah, I don't agree to it.
All right. So we're going to start at 38 first. Do you have any children?
Yes, I do.
27. Do you have any kids?
I have 2 kids.
Okay. 38. How many kids? 1, 2, 3, 4, what?
2.
Okay. How many fathers? 1, 2.
My ex-husband, 1.
So why don't you? What do you disagree? Or why don't you agree?
What I don't want is I was able to get married and it didn't work out. Mm-hmm. You know, we both went our separate ways. We were married for about 15 years, so it was good. It was okay.
Okay.
But what I wouldn't want is to accept someone that I have to share, because I would not want to give that example to my daughter, just to avoid all of that in the future.
Okay. You have 2 kids?
Yes.
You have a son too, or just 2 daughters?
I have my son is 12 and my daughter is 19.
So think about the example you'd be giving to your son, that he should accept a woman with 2 kids?
For my son, if he has to, if that's his choice, where...
No. Now, see, I want you to understand how differently. When you said you don't want to set a bad example for your daughter, but I'm saying, what about your son? And you went to his choice. I mean, before he makes his choice, we talk about the example.
Yeah, I wouldn't want him. Yeah, I wouldn't want him to be with anybody that has kids, for both of them.
Okay, so I think you ladies need to start putting what your son sees ahead of what your daughter does. Because let me tell you why. Because if you don't like the kind and caliber of man that's in the world, you got to create a better man.
And that's exactly what I agree 1,000%.
Okay.
I agree with that.
But I'm gonna challenge you though. You were divorced. Just so we know, who filed for divorce?
I did.
Okay. You want to share what grounds it was on?
I didn't feel that there was like a mutual work towards the relationship.
Irreconcilable differences?
Yeah, basically.
Reagan fucked the world when he made no-fault divorce, because that means nothing to us as men. But what we do know is right now, and I'm coming to you, ma'am, in a second. At 38, you've already been married. Mm-hmm. You've got 2 kids. Man, you've got as high as you can, as any woman can get, and that wasn't good enough. So a man that you would get with has to share you with 1, 2 kids and an ex-husband.
Mm-hmm.
One man has to share 1 woman with 3 people. Make that math work.
If you put it like that, you're right. But I have my realistic expectations of the person that I will end up. And I'm not going to shoot like everybody else that thinks, oh my God, I need the top tier. That's not going to happen. I know my reality. And if I don't have
it, doesn't matter if you want top tier or not. But man, even an average, good, decent man, mm-hmm. he doesn't deserve any less than a high value man.
I'm sorry?
Even an average, decent, run-of-the-mill man doesn't deserve less respect. When did men back in the day who were average, middle class, run of the mill, have to share their wife with 4 people, or 3 people. Back in the day, 100 years ago, 80 years ago, you got married and your wife had your kids. And any kid in the house, anything your wife was doing, that was part of your family. So she was investing in your legacy. Right now, a man would be coming into your life and he's splitting the time with your kids, co-parenting with another man, and do you work?
Yes.
And a job.
Well, so one kid.
Ladies, I just need you to think about the math. Think about the math. If I'm your man, how much of your time do I actually get?
In all honesty, I can only give you, in the beginning, I'm going to let you know about 70%.
So that means I can go get the 30 someplace else or just don't get it.
And if you decide and that's what you want to go for, then we're not going to work out. That's just plain and simple.
So you can come to the table with 70% of your time, but I got to give you 100% of my commitment.
For me, if you have kids, if you have a job, if you have
okay, but most men don't have kids. Most men don't have kids. So I just want to do the math, ma'am. I just want to stick to the math. And math is logic. You can come to the table and give me 70% of your time at best, but I got to give you 100% of my commitment. Why is that a good deal for me? Make the business make sense.
It is a good deal if you don't have kids. If you don't have kids, it's a bad deal, and you should run. Okay. If you don't have kids. But what my realistic goal is...
51% of black men are single. Most men don't have kids. Most guys don't.
What is the statistic on that, or what did you say?
51%. Black men in particular, 51% of black men are single and childless. 61% in the middle class. That's why I talked about Future earlier. That one has 8 kids by 8 different women. A small percentage of the men have always made a large percentage of the men. 1 in every 16 people shares Genghis Khan's DNA. This is why I don't understand from a historical and sociological standpoint, women have always shared the best men. And if you want a man that can meet your standard, man, do you think he can meet another woman's standard?
Yeah, he probably can.
Okay. Do you think your standards are below, average, or above?
My standard, I would say, realistically, are below.
Below?
Below.
Okay. Well, all right. Ma'am, 27. You said you don't agree. I'm coming back to you. Thank you. 27. Why don't you have 1 kid or 2?
2.
The digitized lady. 2 kids?
Yes,
How many
2
fathers?
kids. 1.
How many fathers? Were you married or not?
No, not married.
Okay, so why do you disagree? Go ahead.
I understand your point of view, where you're coming from, where if any men I was to be with, he is sharing me and the 2 kids and the father. But at the same time, like, if the father is not in the picture or doing what he's supposed to do, how is that still sharing?
Well, you still haven't told me what you disagree with the notion of sharing a man. I'll answer your question, but why do you disagree with sharing time? Sharing your man with other women?
I just feel like it's a waste of time, because I already have 2 kids. So if I do decide to be with a man, if I am putting 100% of my time into you, I want the same thing back, and I would not want to share.
Ma'am, you can't put 100% of your time into a man. Ma'am. Something's wrong with your connection. But as a woman with children, you can't put 100% of your time in a man. You mean 100% of the time you have left?
Yes.
Okay, so again, do you have a job?
Yes.
Okay. You have 2 children and a full-time job, and an ex. I mean, ladies, do y'all not see the math from the men's standpoint? If you were a man, what would you be thinking right now? That a woman with kids and a job and an ex, and I only get a certain amount of time, but I got to give you 100% of my commitment.
So are you saying that if men have to share, if we have kids, or, you know, that we should be okay with sharing a man? Is that what
Say
you're
again?
saying?
Say again?
So basically, like, if we expect a man to be okay with us, or be okay with them sharing us, our baby fathers, and our kids, we should be okay sharing them with other women, is what you're saying?
I'm saying you're not a virgin. If you come, if in this situation with kids, you've already been shared.
Yeah.
You come through the door with commitments. I was
So,
I was actually talking about women with no kids, but women with kids, you got even less of a claim on a man's time.
yeah.
That's why we kind of got here with the woman that had the kids. I'm like, whoa. But I want you guys to understand the way that I originally said it was women over 35, and because your sexual marketplace value is lower, just because of age and things like that. But the more things you put on it, the lower the value becomes. But that woman came through the door with 2 kids by 2 different men, talking like she's a 9 or a 10. And she's actually like a 2 or a 3 on the sexual marketplace totem pole. And she talking, and that's what men are thinking. That's why men are like, what are y'all talking about? But what it goes to show is the value women put on a man. Y'all, whether you say it or not, you put your value above ours. That's why you expect us to accept your children and your job and everything else. Okay, Miss 27-year-old. You asked me about men and kids. Go ahead and ask the question again. You broke up a little bit. Mississippi Wireless. Okay.
You said man.
Get
Are you
close to the
want me to
window or
answer the
something.
question?
You got to get close to the window. You're breaking up. Everybody else is in frame. You look like a puzzle. So okay. So what is the objection? 38. What's the objection? I get it that you've been married, you got 2 kids, but practically, you're a middle-aged woman with 2 kids. Why do you still believe you should get the same level of commitment and value as you did when you were a young childless woman?
Honestly, I just feel that in my mind, I already have it made up. I already had that marriage experience, the family life. I've had it. Like you said, I already hit the top, my peak. So by me thinking in that sense, which is true, either I'm going to take what I want or what I need or what I feel that I can put up with, or I'm not. I already experienced it. And if I can get anything that for me is acceptable, because I'm not going to be sharing with him. He's not going to be sharing with me. He's not going to
be sharing with your kids. I've been a stepfather.
With one, exactly.
Man,
So
one period. He's sharing you with he's sharing you with your kid and a job. So
yes.
so let me ask you a question. What you expect to have continual raising value as you age?
No. It's going to lower.
When?
But expectation is already there. If I have to share with anybody, I'm not doing it. Like you said, I'd rather buy a dog and I'd rather be alone. But
I need you to understand what you're really doing when you say that. It sounds empowering, but it's really fucked up. Let me tell you why. Because your son is going to make sure he's going to live his life to be around you, because you will get old.
Yeah.
That will limit your child. Your daughter will also feel, your children are going to feel that mom needs us near because she's a single woman. And it's going to impact their relationships. I know what I speak of very well. Listen, daughters, man, I speak about mother-daughter stuff all the time. It sounds cool when you're 38, but when you're 58 and your son and your daughter are trying to get out and become adults on their own, they got to factor in mama. Is that fair?
No, it's not, which they're not being raised in that way.
Ma'am, it doesn't. They're human. It doesn't matter how you think they're being raised.
And in my culture, regardless, that happens. Regardless, in my culture, it happens. Right?
What culture is that?
I'm Latina. I'm Mexican.
Well, in your culture, you're also supposed to stay in your marriage.
If the man is willing to provide, if he's not a hardworking, if he's not providing, if he's not putting in work, then
you shouldn't have married him.
People change over the years, so you get one person.
This is bullshit.
No.
Man, come on now. Come on, hold on. Man, and here's the funny thing. You can be right, and it sounds real empowering, but your culture doesn't change the fact that this is how kids act. That's why so many women, especially in our community, have come out and asked me, if you do more videos on mother-daughter stuff, this is why so many of our women are fucking unmarried, because their mothers aren't married. And they got to stay close. Your mama married 27?
I'm 28, but yeah, 28. My mom's married.
Okay, but you know what I'm talking about. And you say you'd rather die alone. Okay, so you saying that you would rather, if you cannot get what you want.
Not entirely what I want, just not sharing. I'm not doing that. I don't want to.
That's fine, ma'am. That's fine. But I want to be clear. A man is sharing you because you've already had somebody else's kids, and that's it. He's going to be that if he marries you, he'd be a stepfather. So your children are going to be getting some of his money. It's just going to happen. Yes, ma'am. Christmas gifts, birthday presents, Thanksgiving turkey. Ma'am, I've been there on that side before. Y'all need to stop with the bullshit. Y'all act like your kids exist in a vacuum. And what I want people to understand is how selfish you guys are. You're the most selfish group of women that has ever existed on this fucking planet. Me, 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 me. It's all about you. So how do you get a culture that you're in your culture, ma'am? How do you get a culture with so many selfish women?
It's not. Unfortunately, not all of them are like that. There's a lot of marriages that are older. They've been, that they had over 30 years old, where they don't say the truth. They are not happy. The women are not happy. I asked you,
how do you get a culture with selfish women?
How do you get a culture with selfish women? I don't know how to answer that.
You don't.
I don't know. I'm not.
You don't.
I don't know.
You get chaos. And older women didn't prioritize happiness. That's the problem. Y'all think you're supposed to be happy. Y'all need to grow up. It ain't about being happy. Older women, other generations prioritize family, community. They live the selfless life. Modern women are selfish as French toast. And that's why I have no problem telling y'all to kick rocks and die a cold death alone. I have no problem telling y'all that, because y'all look around and look back at the cultures and the communities and the things that women did before you and the sacrifices and everything else everybody made, and they did not do it to have a bunch of selfish, entitled women saying, "My way or the highway."
It's not like that. It's not. If I'm a good woman, which I was for 15 years, okay, everything, I do have value still.
I don't say you don't have value, ma'am. I'm not saying, and that's the thing. I'm not saying you don't have value. What I'm ultimately asking is, I don't understand why you guys can not separate the two thoughts. You are being shared, ma'am. You have 2 kids, an ex-husband, and a job. A man has to take what's left. And he doesn't even, and usually if you have 2 kids, at least they're mine. All the time you're putting into other things, that's time you're not investing in me, in mine. Men are territorial. This is why men listen to this and they're like, no, 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 no. Hey, how are you doing, ma'am? Doing?
I'm good. How are you?
Good. How old are you?
35.
35. Okay. What do you think about the topic? Share or no share?
No. Well, especially if you're talking about sharing sexually, absolutely not. There's more involved. I have 2 children.
Are you married or are you single?
I'm widowed.
Sorry to hear that. Yeah, sexually. Yeah. I mean, I'm not trying to be funny, ladies, but if you guys would just take the time to go study how humans work, you'd understand that you don't get 7 billion people on the planet with monogamy. You get, man, ladies, listen, when have the top 20%, 10%, 5% of any culture of men ever been strictly monogamous and had only one wife? Ever in history, any continent, any monetary system, any system of government, when does it ever happen? That was the norm. So what you ladies are sitting here with this almost like righteous indignation.
I wouldn't necessarily.
Then what do you propose? So if you don't want to share, okay, let's take it your way. How old is your youngest child?
Mine's 7.
Okay. So would you like to remarry?
Absolutely. One day.
Are you employed?
Yes.
So arguably, a man has your 2 children, your 1 job, and you. So he's sharing you with 3 things right now. You got any pets?
Yes.
What do you have?
Golden Retriever.
So a man comes, hey, buddy. So if I come through the door and want to holler at you, automatically I can't get you. You're 40 hours a week. I got to put that in.
But he has 40 hours as well, right? So it kind of washes out.
That's why I said. But here's the thing. That's true.
Okay.
But
washes out.
Hold on. Because I'm going to my 40. See, my 40 ends up making sure you don't have to work for it.
Period.
Well, then he gets my 40.
No. See, let me do what I'm gonna do. You're 40. Make sure you can maintain what you have. My 60. Make sure you don't have to work anything but 20, going to 0. Because that's what the kind of men I'm talking about. Men who put the time in. I work more, but let's keep it moving. But even if it's just 40, that washes out, right? But then you got 1, 2 kids. And those kids require time.
And this is a single man with no children?
Most men.
That means I have to deal with his mama.
Excuse me?
Then I'm probably going to have to deal with his mama if he's a single man and older than me, because that's what I would want. Then I would have to share with his mother, no?
But not if she's married, right? I mean, if she got some shit going on, why would you have to share?
We're doing this mathematically, right?
No, okay, man. You just asked about single and no children. I said most men don't have kids, and then you automatically make your mama's boy. That ain't how that works.
No, okay. I'm just saying, I'm trying to figure out what man we're talking
what I
about.
want you ladies to understand is every time I start talking about something, you start talking about things to disqualify men. Let's talk about thorough men. Thorough men who have their shit together. Not fuck boys or dumbasses.
Oh, great.
Can we do that?
Yes.
So let's do it. About his shit. He still got to share you with your 1, 2 kids.
Okay.
All right. So does he get 100% of your time? Because after his 40 hours, then why should you get 100% of his commitment?
Because he has Well, it depends, because I come from a Christian value, so usually you don't, especially sexually. That's why I asked you about that, because if you're
Man,
gonna share somebody
I
with
don't think
someone
you want to.
sexually,
I've been in church since 5 years old. Been over 3 singles ministries. You can go Old Testament and New Testament. We can go straight back to Abraham and Sarah. Don't do that. Don't do
okay.
that.
Well,
The
let's
Bible is
okay. Let's go another route.
the Bible is the biggest poly argument that I have. So if you want to go Christianity, game over. You just
No, let's keep this mathematical, because
no.
that's all I
David and
can.
Bathsheba, that man killed. Come on, man. Solomon
Okay.
had how many wives?
Oh, I have to meet up with my partner. So.
Okay, have a good one, man. Appreciate it.
Thank you. Bye.
But
Nice.
man, this is a feelings-based argument for you. So I'm saying the jobs wash. You can't give me 100% of your available time, but you get 100% of my commitment. Make the math make sense.
Okay. 100% of your commitment.
Let's say you get off work at 5 o'clock, and I want to see you at 7 every day. I can't get that because you got to put time in with your kids. As soon as I'm going to get you is after the kids are squared away.
Okay, granted.
All right, but the time, so that means where did that time come from? My time.
So you're saying while you have your time, you want to be entertained with another female.
I'm saying that you are putting investment into other people. I can put investment into other people as well.
And then bring back some shit when you talk.
Okay, ma'am, think about what I'm saying. You having other investments with people. I'm just sitting alone waiting for my turn.
I mean, if you feel like that, if a man feels like he's got to be alone and waiting for your turn, then that's
okay, ma'am. Okay, ma'am.
He's not the man for me. There's women that are okay with that, obviously.
See, instead of just answering the question and saying, yeah, that is kind of fucked up, you're still going to try to turn it around to some man. See, what I want you to understand is
each their own.
A man typically doesn't, when a man comes to get a woman, that's a woman, especially if we're going to talk about Christians. God gave his instructions to Adam. We're supposed to be in our purpose. That's what we're supposed to be doing. And you're supposed to come along and help us on our purpose to tend the garden. But the way this works, I'm coming to tend your garden.
Okay. But now with my being me, I would attend back to the same garden because I am a giver, a pleaser, and a provider.
Fine. That's what you're supposed to do. That's what you're supposed to do in my garden. You're supposed to do everything you just said in my garden. In my garden. In my garden. With my seeds, my soil, not yours, mine. So everything you're going to do, you're supposed to do anyway. It's not over and above. I'm supposed to get that anyway.
Okay. Anyways.
Anyway. So stop the math. My garden, you're going to be a giver or a pleaser. And you're supposed to do that, helping me in my garden on my purpose. But now the way it is right now, you already have a garden to tend to. So I got a garden over here that requires your presence, but you can't because you're investing in your garden and your project.
One big garden.
No, that's another man's seed. That's another man's garden. How are your children an asset to me? They don't have my name. They don't have my lineage. They don't have my DNA. They just get my resources. They just get my food, fertilizer. I don't get the benefit of their bounty. So that's why I said I want you guys to understand that women are so detached from reality today that this argument was originally about women, single women with no kids, but the women with kids expect your ass. No, but it doesn't matter because 80 years ago, if you're a woman with kids, you would have been happy, assuming you'd have been cool with somebody just considering even being with you. Because you're supposed to be off the market till you die.
Mm-hmm.
That's what it's supposed to be. But now mothers are like, no. You get me. I have my prior commitments, and you can have whatever portion of my time that's left. I'll give it to you because you're still gonna have time for yourself. So a man gets a part of your free time. but he's supposed to give you 100% of his commitment. Is that
I wouldn't say 100%. I wouldn't want 100% to be honest at this age. But
from a time
you're talking about commitment or just plain cheating or being with somebody else. Like you're really putting yourself in somebody else.
You know
you are risking the chance of you.
You know I'm going to.
Doing something back.
That's not cheating. You know I'm going to sleep with somebody else. I tell you.
Then we wouldn't be in a relationship.
So while you tubing your kids, I'm bending her ass over the couch. You know what I'm doing.
So then that's not 100%. That's not 100%
it's 100% of what they got left because you ain't giving me 100%.
Bringing back some disease and some nastiness.
I want you to understand.
No.
And that's why I want you to understand. This is a Christian, y'all. This is why I want you to understand that Christianity stuff. That's why I want your audience. All I tell you, all you have to do to get the truth out of a woman is to trigger her. You understand, when she came through the door, is talking about Christian beliefs. Here it is.
I am still always Christian. I didn't say I was perfect.
Okay, but I want you guys to understand, this is an old position. You really want the truth, trigger them. And then the truth comes out. Man,
yeah, what's the truth?
The truth is, you're unrealistic and selfish. Because you...
Oh, wait.
Excuse me.
Don't tell me how I'm selfish.
Don't tell me.
Tell me how I'm selfish.
No. See, what you're going to do, well, it's not what shit's going to happen over here. You may run shit over there, but not over here. No. I run shit over here. You just here. You're just here. You're just here.
I just want to have a conversation.
You're losing the argument. So what you're trying to do is overtalk, and they're not going to make you do any better. Ma'am, at the end of the day, let's cool it down. But the bottom line is this. Ma'am, you're a working woman with 2 kids. You have very little free time after your children.
Okay.
Then that time after your children and your pet, the time that you have left, 100% of it is not going to go to any man. You need some time alone. So how much of your time, how much of your day, in a 24-hour day, how much of a day can a man expect to get from you? Think about it. Reasonably.
If he's worth it, I'll make priority over.
No, man. See, I want you to.
I mean, but then again,
I want you to understand. Every time I ask a question, they always go to disqualify the man. I said that the man that's thorough about his business. Stop with the disqualification of men. Can you at least do that, ma'am? Stop with the disqualification. I'm not going to play that. I don't. If he's thorough and he's this, why would you be dealing with him if he ain't worth it?
Vice versa.
That's not the question. Answer the question, or I'm going to have to bid you a good evening. Man,
go ahead and tell me the question again. Go ahead.
How much of your time, in a 24-hour day, how much of your time can your man expect to get after your work, your children, your pet, your downtime?
You want a percentage or actual hours?
How many hours do you sleep?
6.
6 hours, so there's 18 left. You work an 8-hour day, that's 14.
14. The kids usually go to sleep pretty early, so yeah.
What time is that?
What time do they go to sleep? 8.
8 o'clock in the summer?
No, sir. 8 o'clock every day of the week, and maybe summers they'll stay up later.
How old is your youngest, man?
7.
No, kids don't. 9 o'clock. I would believe. 8 o'clock, not, especially not in the summertime. I've had kids, man. It's not reasonable. Kids don't want to be in bed. Ma'am.
You're arguing me about my kids going to sleep by a certain time? This is like a valid argument.
You got the little hour. You got the hour. Then how much time, though, man? How much?
Let's see here. 5 hours a day, 20 hours a week.
No, 5 hours. No. 14 of your hours are working and sleep. Or actually, 8 hours working.
They go to sleep at 8. I can stay up until 1.
Excuse me. I'm asking a question. Do you have to commute to work?
Yes.
How far is your commute?
5 minutes.
Okay. So you still have 8-hour day. Good commute. Then your kids, you said they're in bed by 8 o'clock. Okay. Now, if I have a job, I can't be up till 1 o'clock. I got to be productive too. So productive men are typically in bed by 11 o'clock.
Okay. I'll be tucking them in.
So at best, If I'm at your house at 8 o'clock, we have 2 hours before I got to go back home. 2 hours a day I give you.
That's all you can give me? 2 hours?
Oh, ma'am, I got my, we don't live together.
So he doesn't give 100%.
Listen to the math, ma'am. Listen to the math. Listen to the math. At 8 o'clock, your kid's in bed. If I'm show up at 8 o'clock on the dot, I got to be in bed at 11 because I got to be productive, remember? Actually, I got to be in bed before that because I work more. But bottom line, from 8 to 10, that's 2 hours maximum. 2 hours. And I got to come to your house. You're not coming to my house because your kids are in bed. Right? So at best, I got to come see you and get 2 hours with you Monday through Friday or Monday through Thursday. On the weekends, if I believe you, the kids are in bed, sleep at 8 o'clock on Friday and Saturday night. First time I've heard that in American history in the last 20 years, but okay. At best, I get you 2 hours a day.
Okay.
Okay, but then you get 100% of my fidelity.
Yes, sir.
And that's what I want you to understand, guys. It doesn't matter.
And that's what makes me selfish.
I want you to understand it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter if you use facts, data, statistics, logic. If it runs counter to their feelings, it gets rejected and it gets dismissed as being invalid. And this is
what's invalid? It's
I get 2 hours of your time, and that's fair. That's fair. Other than saying so. And you have a son?
Yes, sir.
So if your son happened to choose to deal with a woman with a child, you'd say, yes, son, that's a fair deal. That's a good deal. You get 2 hours a day with her, and she's got her work, her job, her kids, her dog. And actually, you don't even get 2 hours because you still need downtime. You still need downtime to get to walk the dog. You don't even get that. So 2 hours is very limited. You'd say, yes, son, I raised you to be a solid, thorough man. Yes, you should only get 2 hours from a woman for 100% of your commitment. And you got to be a thorough Christian man, be able to protect and provide, because if you want to get married, he would have to do those things, right?
Absolutely.
You can't make this shit up. You've been great. You've been great because honestly, man, this is what women really think.
Oh, see, listen, you're hilarious because I agree with. I actually just started following you like 2 weeks ago, and I agree with everything you say. I am more than submissive to my man. I was like, at the same time, I am Latina, so I am a little dominant. But however, I believe in catering to your man all the way.
That does not that means. That's not
no, I'm just saying I am. My mom raised us to serve a man.
What I'm saying is I can't just let you say I'm Latina. That's not what that means. Maybe your family, but not. I know many Latina women who are dominant.
Oh, yes, you're right. There are very submissive ones. Okay, I understand what you're saying. However, then, I am very submissive to a man usually. With that said, in a relationship, I mean, it's each their own, correct? I mean, if a man came up to me and said, listen, I want an open relationship, and, you know, he was such a great man and great provider, and I didn't have to work anymore and all that, I might want to say I'll consider it. But to be honest, in my thought process, I want to grow old with someone, right? Because I don't want to do that to my kids. So I want to grow old with a man that I love, and I know that I share that commitment, that trust, and that connection. That's not something I'm sharing with someone else.
Yeah, but he has to share you with everything.
I'm older. If I was younger,
ma'am, but he has to share you with your life, and he has to give you everything that he is, and he has to be a provider and everything else. See, what you basically just described, people, was
he doesn't have to be a provider.
I'll let you speak. Don't, please. I'll let you go on uninterrupted. Thank you. What you basically described is about conditional femininity. If a man can do X, Y, Z, and make it comfortable enough for me, then I can be a submissive woman. I can be feminine and cater. But if I have to do what I'm doing now, then you get what's left. It's modern woman, man. It's modern Christian feminist. And here's the thing, man. Here's the uncomfortable, sobering reality. And I don't want you to take offense to this because it's not personal. But you can want whatever you want.
That's
How
true.
tall are you?
How tall am I? 5'7".
Dress size?
Dress size? 10.
On the open sexual marketplace,
Okay.
you don't have enough to demand the price you're asking for the kind of
Understood.
thing you're talking about.
Oh, I know. I need to lose weight. I know.
No. It's not just it's not even the way, it's the attitude. And I want you to understand, the kind of man you're talking about is an above average man. Okay? Okay, so that man has far more women as options than you. And he does not have to get with a woman who is only going to give him a couple of hours. He can get the younger, childless, Latina, submissive version of you who is all about that life. He doesn't have to take your deal. And this is what I need a lot of you ladies to understand. You talk to one another, and it sounds good to your ego and your sense of empowerment, but men are like, yeah, I can't make the kind of men you want. Like, man, please.
I want a daddy. I want an older man that has kids already. I don't want a pedophile that is probably just, I mean, let me not say that, but I want someone who's on my level or higher, as in mentally, spiritually, and can connect as a parent as well. Because if you're not a parent, you don't know what I'm going through. If you know what I'm saying? If you're not older.
The man that's up here, I need you to understand what I'm about to say in the spirit of it, okay?
Okay.
We don't give a fuck about what you're going through when he's up here. You need to be on his page, his part, not yours. See, it's all about you. It's all about, you want a daddy, you want this. And I'm saying, do you not realize that you're dealing with bona fide, solid, fit, feminine, friendly, cooperative, submissive, childless women who are sitting back saying, this is my competition? Oh, they're loving it. It's like,
and then you get Amber Heard.
The man you want has a beautiful woman sitting on his lap, and they're laughing at this. And now you can say, he's a dirty old man, he's a pedophile. You could be right and alone. Because what I'm saying is, man, you don't have the kind of sexual marketplace buying power for the kind of man you want. I didn't say you don't have enough for any man. I said
I'll disagree, but okay.
Excuse me?
I said I'll disagree, but okay.
Okay, well, I got hundreds of thousands of men on my side. You got an opinion. I do this every day. I'm not trying to be funny, man, but I'm just saying.
I'm not trying to be funny either.
You ladies come through and you talk like you often talk like y'all can make this world happen. Man, do you have today any men who fit the caliber and criteria of a man that you would submit to, admire, and marry, who are actively vetting you to be a wife?
If I was open to letting them, yeah, but I'm not there yet. I'm not there yet. I'm still grieving.
So in other words, you have
more men trying to talk to me.
Understand, she's such a cold chick that she has in the on deck circle. How many of these men? 1, 2, 3. How many?
I prefer not to say, but I don't really entertain it, so I don't know the number.
Yeah, so she has multiple above average men, higher value men sitting in the on deck circle, just waiting. Woo!
I want to be like you.
This is amazing. Hey man, I don't know if you're just the way you're coming across, man, the faces you're making. I'm just like.
Well, I'm animated. I'm not gonna lie. I'm animated, so I mean.
The thing is, there's no humbleness in you women. Y'all are some of the most arrogant.
Humbleness?
No. The way you're coming across is like,
honestly,
like
I don't even know. I'm one of the most humble people you probably.
And I'm like, oh man. But here's the funny thing: when I get off these calls, I get the emails and the DMs and the tears. Man, y'all, what I've noticed with modern women is y'all are really good at maintaining faith. Y'all are really good at front. Y'all are really good at making yourselves look good. Because you look at yourself on social media and y'all are really good at playing a role, but behind the scenes, you don't have the results. I'm not saying you, I'm saying modern women.
I'm broken. I need therapy. I'm broken as hell. I mean,
So
I know that.
Case, man, why would a man that's up there need to have a woman that's already broken? See, that
I'll be
lowers your
fixed.
value.
I'm not at that season yet.
Man,
I'm not at
I
that
want you to understand,
season.
28, this is why I want you to understand. This is the market. This is why, I'm gonna be honest, and I'm
Oh,
gonna
yeah.
take it away from you. I'm gonna take it
Well,
away from you.
I've been
Take it
out
away,
of
I'm
the
taking it away
market for
from you.
17 years.
I'm gonna take it away from you. The
I don't know. I'm just getting
you
back.
can't overtalk me, and I'm trying to. The kind of men that women really want, they build barriers and systems and things to keep themselves away from even interacting or engaging with women at this level. Because what men ultimately want at all levels is peace.
Okay.
And one thing this interaction has not been and is shown is being with you is not a peaceful thing.
We on the show, baby. I'm putting.
Okay, yeah, we're on the show.
It's funny.
Of course it is. Of course. Have a good one. That's the marketplace, people. I mean, it gets to a point to where when they're so far behind, there's so little humility in so many women that they just got to keep up the act. They got to keep it up. They be more vocals. And I'm like, you're not helping.
It's easier to live in a delusional state than accept reality.
No, it's really not. It's much harder. You know, alcoholics and addicts, crackheads, heroin addicts, meth addicts, them people work hard to stay high. That's a hard job. Being a junkie or an addict, being crazy is a lot of goddamn work. Being sane is peaceful. It's much easier. That shit you just saw, the energy women like her have to put up and keeping that fake front going on is a lot of goddamn work. Mm-hmm. Black women, you hear that again. That's a lot of work. That's why you're so stressed. That's why I see so many women drinking all day long. And it's like, goddamn, this is why you want to have the truth. That's why y'all can't have an orgasm. That's why some of you are not having pleasurable sex lives, because you're so goddamn tense all the time. You can't relax. You always wonder, who's trying to fuck over me? Who's trying to get over me? What this nigga gonna do? You know who's comfortable? Femininity is supposed to be comfortable. It's supposed to be easy. It's supposed to be relaxed. And that's what you get when you get a man. But you get a partner or a competitor, somebody has to control and this and that. That's why I let that go, so you can see what's a possible outcome. Now, what are you going to choose to do? Choose to be something different, or choose to be some of the things you've seen? Because at the end of the day, one thing I want you to understand is all of these women that have been on here gotta go before the male market.
Right.
They can talk all the shit they want. Men ultimately get to decide. And who gets picked.
Yeah.
And when I ask who's vetting you, they all seem to got all these high value men and on deck circles. I find most 6-figure women with high value men all wanting a man. I must be the luckiest man in the world. They all seem to find my show and tell me how many of them this guy waiting for them. But they're on Instagram and YouTube. They got so many high value men waiting on you. All right, Chica.
Have a good one.
You too.
This was a marathon, not of debates, but a delusion. Call after call, Kevin Samuels sat face to face, virtually, with women who had one thing in common. They absolutely refused to take accountability. They blamed men, they blamed timing, they blamed trauma, their careers, their exes, the universe, everything and everyone but themselves. And Kevin, he didn't yell, he didn't insult, he just asked the kind of questions that don't leave room for excuses. What have your choices produced? If you're the common denominator in all your failed relationships, when do you take ownership? You say you want a man, but what have you become to attract and keep one? Over and over again, the silence was louder than their initial attitude. See, a lot of women come into these calls thinking they can out-talk the truth, but Kevin doesn't operate on emotions. He operates on results. One woman said, "I intimidate men." Kevin responded, no, you repelled them because your tone and energy scream competition, not companionship. Another said, men just can't handle me. Kevin said, if every man can't handle you, maybe the problem isn't the men. Maybe you're just hard to handle, and that's not a flex. Brutal? Maybe, but that's the point. Because the world's been feeding women feel-good lies that no matter what choices you make, the man you want will still be waiting at the finish line, that you don't need to change, he just needs to level up. Kevin came to crush that narrative. He reminded them accountability isn't attack, standards aren't oppression, and if you're 30 plus, single, and still blaming everything but your behavior, you're the reason you're not getting what you want. This wasn't a roast session. This was a truth session, and what made it brutal wasn't the tone, it was how undeniable the reality was. Because when Kevin laid it all out, age, attitude, past choices, unrealistic expectations, and a lack of femininity, it became obvious. These weren't victims, they were just women who thought life would wait on them to grow up. Bottom line, Kevin didn't destroy these women, they destroyed their own arguments. He just held up the mirror long enough for the mask to fall off. And when it did, there was no one else to blame.